You know, I can't even start without you saying something wrong. How dare you?
You're wrong.
No, we're not gonna start. As you probably heard, I actually can't really distinguish between the N and the NG sound consciously, so I say wrong, which is how it is, apparently.
No, that's
Ron.
not how it is.
Well, it's just pronounced Ron.
It's not pronounced wrong.
It is. It totally is. And you know what? You're awfully distracted already.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. What is this that you're
I'm
untangling?
trying to figure out which end I should be using.
Eileen always finds a new way to completely disregard her responsibilities as co-host during
I have
the
no
podcast.
Responsibilities as a co-host.
I went back. You have plenty. I went back and listened to all the podcasts recently when I re-uploaded them. And by the way, we're on YouTube now. Hooray! Finally, we have a hosting site that's will not go down. Yes, we're famous.
Yeah.
10 people listen to Bagel Time for some reason. I have one question.
No idea how.
Why? And how is probably also a
And
good...
where? And when?
And who? We should have asked that first. Who are you people? Okay.
Ugh.
What? Is this just gonna be you? Like, is this whole podcast just gonna be you repeating back whatever I do and making fun of me for it?
I'm too distracted to do anything else.
Yeah. So I haven't even gotten to what you're doing. Eileen is attempting to untangle a yarn ball.
Wait, before you do that.
No, stop. And I've gone back and listened to all the podcasts, and it's funny how much more elaborate every time that she finds something else to do during the podcast, and she thinks that she totally can co-host while doing it, but
I
she can't.
I'm doing it right now.
Are you?
I am.
You're
See?
not.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, and you're
That's
not.
all I need to do.
You're also not being picked up by the mic very well because
man.
you're looking at the yarn ball.
Okay, let me put the urine ball up. Now I'm going to be a very good co-host.
Oh my gosh.
I just need to keep my voice over here.
You also don't notice it. This is a... Hold on, before I say
This is why you should turn
welcome
the laptop to me.
Welcome to episode 203 of the Thanks for Watching show.
Hooray.
I said that in time for the theme show. I think I'm in the quiet part of it right now.
It's our 203rd anniversary.
It's not. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you also, this is like a small radio thing you learn about yourself, is that you think you can do things while doing other things, but you can't. Or at least you have to be really good. Because what you'll do is you'll pause unnaturally before saying anything, and you'll never notice it.
Is that true?
Yes.
What?
If you can stomach listening to yourself, when this is done, I will show you exactly how much of a delay this kind of thing shows. You're being pretty good about it because you're conscious right now.
Yeah.
Like, you are doing a much better job
But
right
when
now.
I'm not conscious of it, like I'm actually distracted, I'll pause.
Oh yeah, a lot. Everyone does it. It's just your mind. When you pause like that because you're distracted, your mind erases that kind of thing. Because your mind is constantly working.
Right.
But when you're not, you notice that.
Multitask.
Well,
Not
yeah, in
really.
a sense, but you can. It's just you're slower at those two things.
Well,
but
yeah.
That's what multitasking is. Period.
I guess.
I mean, it's all about trade-off. When people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't multitask, millennials, because that's bad," because my psychology study says so.
But millennials are better at multitasking than previous generations.
Yeah, what I don't get is that people have this misunderstanding of, like, what the purpose of multitasking is. It's not we do two things at the same time at the same speed. It's a trade-off. You get to do two things, but you do this thing slightly slower. But it's just different, all right?
It's just different. It's not efficient.
If I want to text and drive, it's my own choice.
Millennials are better at texting than driving than previous generations.
Exactly. See?
You've had more practice.
You know, I kind of thought that was funny at first, but halfway through that laugh, it just, I don't know.
Maybe it's because I'm not laughing at my own joke.
Right, see, that's also
That's
a
the
form of your
issue.
distraction. See, and what's worse is that you're not even the expert at
I'm done.
untangling yarn.
Well, No one's an expert at unfolding.
I am an expert. And you know this, because this would be in my lap right now if it wasn't for the fact that you were just trying to find something to distract you, as always.
I'm not trying to. It just happened.
It just happens.
It fell into my lap. It was a total coincidence.
After all, everyone listens to this podcast because we are professionals, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. We're making tons of money. You guys should do it too.
So, we have done literally nothing so far in this podcast and talked about absolutely nothing.
Well, that's the whole point of this podcast.
Show. Yeah, that's the whole point of the show, I guess.
That's why people listen if they do.
They
Maybe
don't.
It's not. They don't. If they do, well, I wasn't lying there.
Weirdly enough, the episodes that have guests on, actually, it's always the shorter ones, which I know that people like our show at the 30-minute length, and by people, I mean my mom, and also people, apparently, real people, because, again, I'd like to emphasize, real people listen to this show for some reason that are not our family. I don't know how.
Maybe they're bots. I would bet on it.
What, that a bot would search halfway through YouTube to just click on random videos for some ulterior purpose?
It's a very altruistic bot.
So it's not... Oh, I was thinking like something insidious, not something that is like for the benefit of all.
Because, bots are usually programmed to help the person who made the video. Like, people will pay for that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or do that stuff.
But that stuff hasn't worked on YouTube for ages now.
Really?
Yeah.
So they fought against that. It's not possible.
They made sure to fight against that before they ever put in a monetization program, I'm fairly certain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I had to readjust myself. Weirdly enough, I've had a weird reverse issue where Aileen blows out the mic, and I have a hard time getting picked up at all by the mic, and I don't know how. Hey, would you look at that? Let's bring on the Groucho Mark the Marcho March.
You okay there?
Let me take a second. Groucho Marx duck from the ceiling, because guess what we just talked about? The podcast.
Wow.
The thing that we say to never talk about every podcast.
Do we say that?
Yes, every podcast. I can say that because I've listened to most of them now.
Okay, yeah, you would be the one to know.
Yeah. But yeah. And I used that joke last time. We used that joke exactly the last episode. Or was it 201? I listened to them back to back today, so...
We should probably stop making jokes that we've made before.
We don't mean to, and also, first off, I rarely do that. It's mostly you. It's almost entirely you. If you end this podcast by saying thanks, I swear to God, we will be the first podcast to have an on-air murder occur.
Oh, wow. Well,
that'll drive up the viewership. Yeah.
Yeah. It's unique.
All right, can we stop talking about the podcast?
So
we almost
we
made
don't
it.
have many guests.
Yeah.
We've only had Mark, and he's never come back.
We had Aileen. Aileen is the
always a guest. Thanks for having me today.
We had Lexi on, or I had Lexi on. You were gone that week. Me and Aileen have really talked about getting more of my family on. I very much plan to get my mother and my brother on, and definitely my father as well.
I think that would be great to listen to.
Yeah, because they're all very different, and they would bring a very different element to the show.
Yeah.
Dad especially, I think, because we kind of get people that are more funny, but I would like Dad's sweet mellow tones in his nice, reassuring voice.
Oh yeah, he does have a nice voice, just like you.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised he hasn't done like podcasts on stuff, especially like you know what it is, maybe like I know he's just some guy, but I would really like to listen to a podcast where he discusses, or even if he just like read from the Bible or something. My dad is my dad's, he's not like a pastor or anything, but he's involved in the church very heavily, I'd say. But he's a very knowledgeable guy, and I'm actually surprised he doesn't do something like that, especially because you can buy cheapo mics, hobbyist mics, for not much, and it's really easy to record. I mean, I didn't have to buy any special programming. I might just swing this idea by him, because you know what, he has a good voice for that. Yeah,
he's probably maybe never considered it, that
right.
he could do it.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I think I should definitely bring him on the show somehow. I don't know when. One of the times when we come up, which we don't
when
know.
you visit, just do your whole family.
Right. Well, that would be the goal. Yeah, is just sit them down for 30 minutes and see what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
I don't know why, given that they're the only people that listen. So that was.
They can listen to each other.
Really, it just gives you something to listen.
Yeah.
But you would be there
that.
as well. So.
I'll just, I don't know, take a walk.
No, you bring a nice energy to this show. I may be the host, but this show is defined by its co-host, and it's you. And I can say this because my mom definitely... It's funny.
She listens for me.
Yes, actually. In case anyone real that's not my family... my family is fake. My family's very not real.
Mom. Mom, in quotes.
My quote-unquote mom. That is an obscure reference to a dead podcast that has been dead for over 8 years now, actually.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And that reference itself is nearing a decade old, I think. I think Internet Police came out 2 years before the end. Oh, no, it might have been 9 years old now. Maybe it's 10. I don't know. Anyways, point is that is probably the most obscure reference I can whip out. Enough self-indulgence. So, yes, I think if we do come up, which I want to, I really do.
I do, too.
Because I can just picture myself on the couch and just hanging out in the house, and just enjoying the amenities in my family.
They joke about that. I think when you do, it's a little less reassuring,
No, but it's like their house is wonderful.
It is. It's a house.
Like, they should take that as a compliment. It's just like, it really is a vacation for us every time we go up. It's just...
It's a well-kept house.
Oh, yeah.
It's what we should strive to have.
We have a 2-week period to make it work. Like, exactly, actually. Which is kind of sad. But maybe it's worth it. I don't know. Wouldn't that be nice for, 5 days to just, take a breather up there?
It would be. You have midterms, though. And tests and stuff.
After the midterms. Because I think it lines up with after midterms.
So that's where the 2 week is coming from.
Yeah, I think midterms slices it in half, actually.
Wow, what a compelling topic to talk about on air.
Well, I mean, it is something of interest to the people who watch it, who is my mom.
But isn't it being watched in a delay? So by the time they hear it, it's like,
maybe we've decided. I don't know. It's something we got to decide soon because it's coming up soon. But wouldn't they? Right. I mean, I know they've just seen us, but wouldn't it be great to see them in their environment? Would be. They've come up to us a lot, and we appreciate that so much. But I definitely think that we should also return the favor.
Yeah. Also,
just because their house is nice, and also, it's a good working environment as well. And I'd like to get them on the podcast, and I have a lot of ulterior moments. Okay, Aileen has propped her motives. My bad. Aileen has propped her.
On air.
Aileen has propped her iPhone up on my microphone, or Mark's microphone, and it's tragic because I'm about to turn the microphone, actually. So you're...
Why?
Because it's incorrect. Oh, one note from our last podcast while I was editing it. Don't do this. Don't tap the table. It comes up really loud on the mic.
Oh, no.
I know I just did that for demonstration purposes, and hopefully people are laughing at that.
Edit it out.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not gonna edit anything.
Really?
I will equalize the thing so it doesn't literally blow your ears out, but it will just make it sound scratchy.
Is that what happens when you equalize?
Yeah. Or compress, sorry, my bad. I don't know how to use an equalize tool that well. I know some people do. Really good broadcasters do. But I do not. We are talking about the podcast again. Again!
Well, we don't plan out our podcast, so...
No, and we never will. Every time we talk about it, and I know I say this every time, it's terrible. Our whole show is built on not planning anything. I actually visited the podcasting subreddit. You know what? We might as well just keep talking about this.
Okay.
There's a podcasting subreddit out there, and I thought, ooh, great, it's about people who podcast and the hobby of podcasting.
Okay.
So there were all these kind of articles that... give tips, and also all the top posts of all time are a bunch of tips and stuff you should do and how to do them. We do the exact opposite of everything. I mean,
like
everything they advise to do. The show length. Make sure you edit any dead time. Edit your conversations out. You should edit like a paper. You should be forced to throw some of it out.
That's for an
Make
actual
sure you do
podcast.
fade-ins and fade-outs. We are an actual podcast.
But I mean something that talks about something,
We talk about something.
Nothing.
We talk about stuff, just nothing in particular.
You're the antithesis of a podcast.
No, that's not true. I wouldn't say we're the antithesis to a podcast. We're still people talking that on a microphone that people listen to on their pods.
That's true.
So, it's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
It's just a terrible one. Or at least an objectively terrible one. Subjectively not so. I think our podcast is excellent. And I can say that having listened to it. And I also agree with my mom in that you're the clearly funnier part of the podcast. Which is tragic. And thanks for drinking right in my dead space. You're supposed to... I talk so much. I am the greatest person if you're thirsty as a host. Like, if you're thirsty, I leave you so many opportunities. And you take the only time that I pause to take a drink of your juice. Do you not... Just think through it. Your job is simple. You're not even the primary talker. You just have to come in and be the star of the show. And you have to wait for my most vulnerable moment and make me look like an idiot. Do you have anything to say?
I need more.
Do you really?
No.
You say something. I'm drinking some of that juice. Hold on. Yeah, tell a story. Your stories always go over well.
I won't if you drink my juice.
Fine. Just tell a story. Tell a childhood story.
One.
What do you mean you don't have one?
I'm done. That's how my childhood was.
What was your favorite birthday?
What's my favorite birthday?
Yeah, I know that you don't really do birthdays, but...
Well, I wouldn't say favorite, but there was this one time that my cousin came over for my birthday. I think I was in middle or high school at that point. Middle school, 7th grade-ish. And he comes over, and I'm having, like, some sort of breakdown at some point.
Hold on. You're having a breakdown?
In the bathroom.
About what?
I think I was mad about something. And then I come out, and I get even more mad because I find out that he took apart my puzzle that I was working on for a really long time.
Like, did he steal it and not tell you? Or did he just, like, remove a part?
He removed, like, all of it. Like, it was all taken apart.
Oh, he removed... You said he took a piece of your puzzle.
Oh, no. He took apart my puzzle.
Took apart it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, like, we had this huge whiteboard,
I see. The kind. He took apart the puzzle, not he took a part of the puzzle.
Yeah, he took apart the entire puzzle.
Okay, and so what were you mad at? So you clearly can't remember what you were mad about before, because this is the much worse actual infringement.
Like the breaking point right there. It was just, come on.
I asked for your best birthday, not your worst one.
Well, I can't remember.
Well, I'm glad that you only remember the negative things in your life.
I mean, I had barbie cakes for my birthdays.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I remember when I got a Mulan card for my birthday once.
Hold on, how did you afford Barbie cakes?
My grandma would help out with birthdays.
Oh,
so she would buy a cake, She would cater one ahead of time and they'd give it to her.
That's amazing, wow.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Barbie cakes. For those of you who are going, what the hell are these two people on about? What's a Barbie cake? It's not a cake with like a Barbie's face on it. It's a Barbie doll that's like stripped down, and then the cake is the bottom part of her dress. Mm-hmm. So you cut into her dress, and then there's just this weird naked Barbie doll in there.
Yeah, I don't remember that part, but...
Or do they cut off her legs and then just stick her torso on top?
Yeah, I don't really remember.
So do they remove it? Do they go like, okay, kids, time to eat, and then they break off half her body?
We would cut the cake, with the Barbies still, like, part of it.
Okay.
I don't remember how the construction is for Barbie cakes.
This is definitely a not safe for work kind of joke thought that I just had, but how come they don't have... how have I never seen like a joke picture of like a cake with like a Barbie coming out of it? You know, like in newspaper comic strips.
Or like she's swimming out of it, or frantically.
No,
trying to
you know
get
what I mean.
out.
Like, okay, I've never seen this anywhere in like TV shows or life. I've only seen this in crappy comic strips. Make reference to like strippers in giant birthday cakes.
Right.
And it's only comic strips. That's how antiquated it must be, because I've never seen this. Like, I don't think this is a thing that exists at all. Like, there's no way it could.
You remember the Pip F comic where it's like this like gangster mob who gets a a cake with nice puppies.
You had me
or
confused
something.
because you shortened Pearls Before Swine as Pibef.
It's not Pearls Before Swine.
Yeah, it is Pearls Before Swine.
No, Prairie Bible Fellowship.
Oh, well, they've done the same joke with this exact same setup with mobsters as well, where they send the wrong cake.
Yeah.
No, but
or box or whatnot.
Yeah, they've done the entire same setup, but why haven't I seen that but with a Barbie, like a miniaturized version? You know, just a regular sized cake, and I like there's like just a stripped down Barbie doll in it. That seems like a gag joke.
Like a tiny stripper cake.
Or is it just that? Yeah, exactly. See, you get this. You get what I'm talking about.
You know, if that doesn't exist, maybe that should be our next business idea. We should just have a bakery that does stripper Barbie cakes. You know,
I think The Office actually did a joke about this.
Really?
Yeah, there is a such thing as quote-unquote adult bakeries, and I don't... You know what, let's stop,
I do know about...
Let's stop talking about this. I don't think that this is podcast-friendly material. I think almost all pretenses of this being a family-friendly podcast are just, gone away. And this time it's my fault. I will take the blame.
Yes.
But almost every other time it's everyone else's fault. And how dare they? Well, do you have anything to say more? Please give me... Because I know we abruptly ended the whole Barbie stripper cake thing. But I see that
I love my Barbie stripper cakes.
No.
They were the
Is that your
favorite part of my childhood.
What is like a really... Okay, I know birthdays and holidays aren't like a big thing for you, but what would you say is like a big thing, like event that happens in your family?
We used to have celebrations for Tet. How dare you?
I repositioned her head to face the mic because when she thinks, she looks off in the direction and then tilts her head.
I have to look at you.
There, how's that?
Now we can figure out what a sneeze sounds like on podcast.
Okay, so you celebrate Tet, and what is that?
It's a Vietnamese and also, I believe, a Chinese. It's a Lunar New Year celebration. So like.
Oh, it's just Chinese New Year.
Yeah, basically.
But it's called something else.
We do it twice a year because it's like harvest time.
Wait, really?
And New Year time.
So you get 2 New Years.
Yeah, we get 2.
Well, you get 3.
3. Well, American New Year, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you get 3. Well, I mean, the harvest celebration isn't so much a New Year.
Okay.
It's more, but
But do you get money? Is the question.
I don't remember. I think it's only for New Year.
Okay, I was about to say if you don't remember, you don't get money. I think that's not something you forget.
I don't know. I might have gotten $200.
Can I say
maybe?
I am glad that I have found a person whose family is into Chinese New Year. There is no greater holiday than one where the comeuppance of the entire thing is, oh, by the way, here's some money.
Right.
And this money is exactly the value of how much I love you. And there's nothing greater than that in my eyes. That is the most beautiful thing.
Uh-huh.
And also the food, and I like the color red a lot, so...
Yeah, it's your favorite, right?
Yeah. And I guess having a favorite color sounds kind of stupid at 21, but...
It's a question that everyone
asks.
What's
your favorite color? I don't think you could ask a worse favorite question.
Let's think of one.
What is your favorite color?
Orange.
We got an orange. That's an uncommon one.
That is uncommon.
But not to wear. Not as... you know, like...
So you're a closeted orange lover.
It's not even... Yeah. It's more just... It's so loud, which I love, but ultimately... You get too much attention walking around wearing a bunch of orange.
Right. So don't ask, don't tell when it comes to orange.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right.
You know, keep it low key.
Yeah. All right. See you around. Have fun about time. That was our subleaser. We just thought I would get an opinion on colors. Don't even know if the mic picked up any of that, really.
That is a very interesting choice.
Yeah, that's not one. That is like the least favorite color everyone.
Yeah.
Other than yellow, maybe.
Or purple, maybe.
What do you mean? Purple's a great color.
I think when you ask people's least favorite color, they might say orange or purple.
Well, orange and purple together look like trash.
Well, yeah, because color wheel, but...
Well, no,
Yeah, I think those are the two least favorite colors. Like, purple's a polar kind of thing. Like, people either love it or they hate it.
I don't know. And I guess orange is pretty universally trash.
Hey, your Thai tea is orange, and it's pretty nice.
Yeah, but that's because it's nice in an ironic sense. You know what I
What
mean?
do you mean ironic sense?
Because, like, sweet drinks aren't orange. And don't say orange juice, because I know that's what's popping in your head. And even orange juice is yellow-colored, might I add.
It's an orange-yellow.
No, it
Yellow-orange.
It is pretty darn yellow. Take a look at whatever... viewers at home, take a look at any orange juice that you have in your fridge, and it's yellow, right?
What if you squeeze out fresh oranges?
It's yellow.
It's an orangish color.
No, it's because of how watered down it is. It is yellow. It is pretty much pure yellow. What? This isn't a podcast. Is not a time where you go and then have a think about it.
That was intentional.
You take
That's
those
space.
thoughts. Yeah, sure. You take those thoughts and you put them in your mouth and you just push them out.
I was hoping you would stay quiet for longer.
Why? What were you gonna do?
Dramatic effect.
No, because what that means is that we end the podcast.
Thanks.
But you've been doing that just so often and so early. Also, don't think I didn't detect that.
How long into the podcast are we? Is it time to end it?
No, it's 26 minutes.
Oh, man.
You have
That's
about...
perfect time to end it. Half an hour.
No, we're not at half an hour, dummy. You want to go a little bit over half an hour.
minutes.
20
Okay.
seems too short for a podcast. I'd rather be a little over 30.
Like 35?
32, 34.
Maybe 37.
Point is, you have 4
I'll
minutes.
haggle it in between.
Okay, so...
Okay.
You're mad about By the way, I'm actually really glad we talked about Barbie stripper cakes, because that is going to give me excellent thumbnail material. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Well, I mean, I don't even think that's a thing that's real, though, to be fair. Like, there's no way. That just sounds too stupid.
We should make it real then.
No. Is that your new business idea?
Yeah! There's a market out there for that kind of stuff.
So, this is what Aileen is
Jack's
going to be doing for her
cakes.
life.
I want to. I'll be a teacher who makes Jack stripper cakes. It's a great hobby.
Oh yeah, so you've never really mentioned your aspirations, and we don't do this podcast enough where you even mention it. You're very heavily considering, and I think really going into, are you really, you talk about it.
Yeah, so I never wanted to be a teacher coming into college, and during it, people would ask me what my major was. I would tell them I study math, and their next question would be, oh, so do you want to be a teacher? And my answer would
No.
always be a flat, yeah, no.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
That's very confusing. Don't do that on the kids you teach. They'll be very confused. Okay, sorry, move on. I couldn't help.
But yeah. But something changed when I got my recent part-time job teaching computer science to kids, or I guess game
She teaches
programming.
coding to
Scratch, more specifically, I guess.
and some light programming.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what Scratch is. So
right. So, I don't know. I'd done some tutoring beforehand, in high school and also during my sophomore year, but it never really clicked with me. But something clicked there where I realized I think I might enjoy this kind of thing. Now, I want to be a high school teacher and not teach little kids, because that's probably beyond my intuitive understanding. But, yeah.
yeah, what?
Stop moving my head.
Well, stop
My head
looking
goes
away from the
wherever it wants
microphone.
to.
You get quieter and quieter. Look, how would you feel if I just went, oh, hey,
we
look at
gotta
this
do
great
fade
story
ins
that's
and fade
interesting.
outs.
And also, it's really interesting. And also,
It's a natural fade out.
wow.
That's
No,
the podcasting tip.
I never actually touch our voice clips. I know a lot of people are like, crossfades are your friend.
Uh-huh.
I just compress it and I'm done. Look at that. That's the fourth time we've talked about the podcast. That's a new
What a
record.
great tension. Okay,
Oh my gosh, that's a good place to end then, I guess.
thanks.
No, stop. That joke isn't gonna get funnier. You have like 2.5 minutes, but every time I've actually
2.5. Is that how long we have? Oh my gosh. What do we talk about now?
No, we have to fade out. I mean, like, we have 2.5 minutes to end this.
Oh.
No, well,
exactly.
because what happens is every time we're like, okay, that'll do it. Thanks for listening to episode 203 of the Thanks for Watching show.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and then what'll
Okay,
happen is that
bye.
we'll keep talking about something, and I'll have to do a lot. I'll have to
Yeah, like right
imagine
now.
a gag with the ending music that I didn't intentionally put in there because we outdo the ending music. We've done it like twice in my
Okay,
podcast
so we're
lately.
done now, right?
No, we're not. That's not a place you end on.
But you just went through the entire
This is
ending
your job.
sequence.
This is your job to control this thing.
No, it's not. My
It
job
always
is to just
is.
exist here
No, it is not.
and say stuff.
How can you claim to be host every podcast we do?
I'm co-host, but I have mostly duties that do not include handling the podcast.
Oh my gosh. What do you think co-hosts do?
Exist.
You said that already. It's not even funny.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh my god.
See you next time.
I like how your joke was also in the face you made. Even though no one can see you. Hey, there's that joke again that I promised not to do. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks. See you next time.
Please like and subscribe.
No, don't. Okay, please do. No, actually,
See.
I don't care if you like and subscribe. What you should do is comment. Okay, bye.